Hey everyone, good
Hello.
afternoon.
Okay, everybody is rolling in. I am going to go ahead and get started. I know everybody's still joining us, but we only slated a half hour for this webinar today, so we want to dive right in. Thank you for joining us for today's exclusive preview of Breach Secure Now's Microsoft productivity training and our Teams client. And first of all, Happy New Year. This is the first time we've seen our partner community this year. So we hope you had a great new year, and we're really looking forward to all the great things that are in store for Breach Secure Now and our partnership together in this new year. So we'll jump right in. I am Nicole Kurtz. I am the Director of Product Marketing here at Breach Secure Now. As always, I'm joined by Chris Gross, our Director of Partner Relations. And today we are joined by Nick Vient. He's our Director of Security Content. So Chris and Nick and I will be going through these updates and just, I'll throw in a little bit of housekeeping, sorry. We won't have time for questions today. I don't think we will. If we do, we can take some. If not, please join us for our community call next Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. We will prioritize the questions that were asked today on that call next week. So it's a great opportunity to get involved in the conversation and get your questions answered. With that, Nick, you kicking us off, or Chris?
Yeah, I'll kick us off
Okay.
here. I know we have a jam-packed call, so we'll jump right into it. We are extremely excited to announce our expansion into productivity training, but we know there's probably a lot of questions. You're probably wondering, what is productivity training? What do we mean by productivity? At BSN, we believe that productivity training is a natural expansion of the education that we do today. Today, we educate on technology, and we educate specifically on how to use technology securely, how to use technology while at the same time protecting yourself, protecting your family, and protecting your business and your company. With our productivity training, we believe it's a natural expansion to educate your clients' employees on also how to use that technology wisely and how to use it efficiently and productively. There's so much technology that's available today in a client's organization. All of this technology is constantly evolving, new things are coming up, and we want to make sure that the tools that you're offering your clients, the tools that they're using, they understand on how to use to their best potential. Today, we have a ton of MSP partners that are technology advisors to their clients. They're always offering new technologies that are going to help them make their business more efficient. With productivity training, our hope is to help you get more value out of the technology that you're already giving to your clients. We see this as a natural extension, as I mentioned, because one, we are already educating on technology, and we've found great methods to engage users in that education. We're planning on taking those same methods, the diverse learning styles that we have today, the expansive partnerships that we have with our MSP partners and their trusting relationships with their clients on technology, and really leveraging that as we move into productivity, so you guys have the ability to get more value out of the tools that you're already offering. So with that, I want to talk about where we're heading first with productivity training. The first no-brainer when it came to where do we head first with productivity training was the Microsoft 365 suite. We know that 97% or more of our partners are already offering Microsoft 365 suite to their clients. A vast majority of those partners are including it in their managed service agreements, which means that your clients are already using these tools. Let's help you get more value out of the tools that you're already offering your clients. That's exactly what we plan to do with this Microsoft 365 training. Now, something you're probably already asking, right? There's Microsoft training that exists out there today, right? We know that there's Microsoft training that exists out there. Why BSN is going to do productivity training with Microsoft 365 is really important here. What we've seen after years of evaluating cybersecurity and years of evaluating evolutions in technology is that there's a major gap. We see that people are educating in cybersecurity, and we do it ourselves. We educate in cybersecurity, but we don't have many specific platforms that we're educating in, specifically the platforms that your clients are using. So we believe that cybersecurity and education on how to use those are something that needs to be together. We have plenty of Microsoft training and other productivity education suites out there, but they might not be educating on how to also use that technology wisely and securely. You need to do both. Again, it needs to be a holistic approach. If you are educating on how to use a tool, how to use a solution, but you're not educating on how to use that tool securely, there's a gap there. We identified that gap, and we're here to help you guys fill that gap for your clients. For Microsoft 365 specifically, we see it's the #1 imitated platform in the world. We see that cyber criminals are constantly finding new exploits in this. So our goal is to help educate on how to use those technologies and how to use it efficiently, while at the same time, again, educating on how to use it securely. We believe that this is going to offer you guys the ability to put more value into something you're already offering your clients, make you guys more money by being able to say, hey, not only are we offering this tool to you that's going to help your business, but we're going to educate your users on how to actually use that tool to 10x their potential. We see users today that they might be using a tool, maybe they're only using 10% of its effectiveness. It's impossible with the technology today in order to use it's impossible with technology today in order to really understand how to use every single tool that you have at your disposal. I'll give you an example, right? Who really knows how to use every single function in Excel? There's plenty of business owners on the calls today, I'm sure, that use Excel on a day-to-day basis, but I can guarantee that there's nobody that knows every single function. Our goal here at BSN, we're not going to teach you how to use every single function in Excel, right? But our goal is to educate your clients' employees on how to use those tools in real life situations, in real business situations, that's going to exponentially increase their potential and their output in their business. So Nick, I know I'll pass it to you next, and you can kind of get into the nitty-gritty details. I do want to mention one thing. There are clients that you guys have that are using the Google Suite. We know that there are partners that are offering Google as well to their clients, so we do have Google courses coming out in the future as well. Okay, Nick, I'll pass it to you, and you can kind of dive a little bit into when we say Microsoft productivity, what are the actual things that we're going to be educating on?
Yeah, great. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, so I'll talk about the core courses. So there's going to be 6 training courses that are going to be instantly available to your clients in their training library right from the get-go with this launch. So 5 of those will be what we're calling our fundamentals courses. I'll explain those in just a minute. Then we'll have our Microsoft cybersecurity course, as Chris was describing. And really each of these is going to be between 15 and 20 minutes in length. And a certificate of completion is going to be available once they pass that final quiz. So very similar to the current structure with those training courses. But I'll kind of talk about the fundamental courses first and kind of explain those a little bit. So these are focusing on what we see as the core Microsoft products that we see most employees utilizing on a regular basis at most positions. So we've got Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, and Excel. And we've designed this course to it's really going to be for all varying levels of expertise. So, those that are completely new to the product can definitely take this and really learn all the basics of how to use the tool, what's the best uses of the certain functions that they're working with, and ultimately how to be more productive. But even a regular, everyday user of some of these platforms, they're going to learn some new skills, just like you were saying, Chris. There's only so much that you can be learning from a general day-to-day basis here. So we're trying to tap into additional knowledge, additional productivity tips, new features, which Microsoft is always releasing new features with their products. So we're hitting on those consistently through these courses. So whether you've been using it for 1 month or 10 years, you're going to learn something new with this and enhance your productivity. I think a perfect example is Outlook, our Outlook course. We're going through the basics of how to send and reply to email messages, some pretty simple tactics that most employees would be able to pick up if you give them access to Outlook on their first day. But we're also diving deeper into things like setting up rules to automatically forward messages to certain folders. That's a skill that they're probably not going to pick up on their own. They might not even be aware that it can do that. And it saves the manager time teaching them how to do this. It saves you time having to educate on how to do this or troubleshoot potential issues too. And it's going to make the employee more efficient, more organized, and ultimately more productive here. So with these courses, I'll kind of stress that last point. This does not impact ESS. That was kind of the #1 question we got coming into these, is what's it going to do to the ESS? These do not negatively impact the employee's ESS, but a certificate of completion will be available again once they pass that final quiz. So that's the incentive to pass that quiz, get that training certificate. But I'll transition next to the cybersecurity course and kind of talk about that because it's a little bit different from an ESS perspective. And just to explain a little bit too, this is not replacing the existing cybersecurity course that the users are getting. This is, I would say, complementing that. So they're still going to be able to take that core cybersecurity course, and this is going to be teaching them different cybersecurity concepts related to Microsoft products. So some examples are malicious macros in Excel files. We're talking about BEC scams and phishing with Outlook. We're talking about Microsoft tech support scams. So those are kind of some of the different topics that we go through, and again, relating that to Microsoft specific products.
Yeah, if I could add, Nick, in there real quick. I know Chris was talking about there's various different products on the market for Microsoft training, but I think this is something really important that's different with what BSN is planning to offer here. So really outside of just how to use these tools effectively, understanding cybersecurity risks specifically as they relate to these tools, as Chris mentioned, that's a real differentiator for what we're offering here.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then you hit on it in the last slide, Chris, that Microsoft is the #1 impersonated by cyber criminals. So definitely important that we focus on this and then that all employees are aware of these threats.
So Nick, do you want to also talk a little bit about what this is going to look like for the user that actually gets it in their platform?
Yeah, absolutely. Can I just go back to that last slide for just one last point about the ESS, Chris? Yeah, so just to hit on that last point there, this does not negatively impact the employee's ESS. So on launch day, no one's going to be negatively tanked for this, but this is cool, this is new, there's going to be extra credit. So if they go in and they pass that Microsoft cybersecurity training course, they're going to get extra ESS points on their overall score. So nice little reward for the employee to take that course.
Yeah, again, leveraging the tools that we have today that we know is engaging for employees, like gamification, to have them engage with productivity training as well.
Yeah.
And the certificate of completion, they get one for every one of those Microsoft courses, right? So it's not just one certificate, it's like Microsoft Word, Outlook.
Exactly, correct. Yeah, there'll be individual certificates that they can utilize, absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah, so if you want to jump to that next slide, perfect. I'll just talk about the delivery, how they're going to be kind of delivered here. So they're going to be found in the training tab, just like with the cybersecurity course, or if they're in the HIPAA product, they see the HIPAA training classes here too. But we know when we're throwing in 6 new courses, it can get a little bit confusing to the end user here. So we wanted to make organization a top priority here with these updates. So we've gone with a nesting approach. So we've got the cybersecurity training courses in that first package that you see there. Microsoft will have its own training package. And you can see, it's probably a little hard to see, but you can see the courses available, the courses that are completed. And then once you click that view courses button, you'll see the individual courses within that package and take those courses from there. And even within that tab, you can see whether it impacts the ESS or not. You can see the category related to it. So a little bit more details to, again, help make it easier for the end user.
I do want to mention this. I see a question in here about the ESS. If you're a new partner to BSN, the ESS is our employee secure score. That's really your security score, if you will, or the user security score. It includes different metrics from training and things like that to help employees and their management and their organization understand really where they're at in terms of their cybersecurity risk.
So you want to do a little demo, Nick? We can talk a little bit, or we can show a little video of a sneak peek of what this content is going to look like.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Let's get started on how to initiate and join meetings. Starting an instant meeting or call. Starting an instant meeting is a breeze. If you're in a chat message with one or more participants, you can click the audio or video call button in the top right corner of the chat window. This will call all of the chat participants, and when they join, you'll connect together on a call, which will be the same format as most meetings. For this example, let's create a simple column chart. Click on the column chart icon and you'll see different styles of column charts. Select the style you prefer and Excel will automatically generate a chart for you.
Typically, macros are automatically set to disabled in these programs. However, users can still switch this and enable macros in their settings. Even with macros disabled, cyber criminals are finding ways to carry out their attacks. They're doing this by adding text or pop-ups on documents that say things like enable content or enable macros in order to view or edit this document.
All right, so really good sneak peek of kind of what that content's going to look like. I think a good place to jump in next is talk about the additional Microsoft content that's included with this. Nick, do you want to talk a little bit about our ongoing approach to productivity training?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the goal, again, you mentioned in the beginning, Chris, we know the formula that's been successful, to grow our cybersecurity line. So that was the annual training, which is great, 30-minute details on those cybersecurity lessons here. But we know employees learn best when it's kind of partitioned throughout the year. So that was our goal here with this, is to kind of carry that micro training approach that we've been doing with cybersecurity, so that ongoing productivity tips. So these are at least weekly. Sometimes we're going to do a couple a week, ongoing tips for the employees delivered via the news feed, and they're short 30 to 60-second videos. We're calling them kind of TikTok, Instagram style videos. Obviously still professionally done, but more engaging, really right to the point here. They're not going to be as long as those typical micro trainings, but again, right to the point. We're showing you this one particular tip, and this is how you do it in Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, whatever that might be. So really focused in on what that tip is. We're showing you why it's valuable, why you might be utilizing it. So we think it's going to be very impactful for that end user here. We'll also have infographics too. So for those that aren't videos, if it's easier to show it in a little bit of a text format, something more visual, we'll have infographics or short little graphics as well that they can use and download.
Yeah, that's a great addition. I know we rolled out the PDF in our annual training at the end of last year, but that's been really well received for learners of all different styles. So whether you retain information best via a video or a PDF reading a newsletter type format, we made sure to accommodate all of those in this productivity training as well.
Yep, absolutely. And something else to add here, this is all going to be accessible in the newsfeed, which means we're going to index everything. We'll have hashtags up on there. Nick's going to talk about our new grouping method in a second, but that's going to allow people to dive into this content and really explore things that they're interested in. So we'll have something like Excel tips. We'll have that hashtag so they can dive deeper into similar tips as well. So really good method of keeping users engaged and allowing them to engage more in what they want to know.
Yep, absolutely. And I'll emphasize too with these, it's going to be productivity tips, but we're also, I forgot to mention the cybersecurity aspect of it too, which of course is the heart of this whole thing too. We're still going to be relaying important cybersecurity related information, especially from Microsoft, in real time. So if there is a, Microsoft threat that they want to make sure that everyone's aware of, we'll try and relay a lot of that information if it makes sense to the end user via the newsfeed too.
Right. There's always new features coming out. There's always new attacks coming out, new threats coming out. So this is a really easy way to keep people up to date on how to use it effectively and again, securely.
Absolutely. Yeah, so
Nick, you want to talk a little bit about the delivery?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll talk about it real quick here. So with this, we're going to be packing a lot more into the newsfeed. They're still going to get the same newsfeed posts like for the cybersecurity perspective, just as they typically do, but we're packing a lot more Microsoft stuff in here. So again, organization is going to be key with this. We don't we want to make sure that they're able to find what they're interested in. So we've added a few more details to make it a little bit easier for the employees. They can easily search for some specific hashtags they're interested in, but we'll be grouping things. So when we post, we'll be posting into different groups. So if they just want to see stuff from a Microsoft group or cybersecurity, they'll be able to click into those particular groups. You don't see it there, but we'll also have a healthcare group for those in a HIPAA product. They'll be able to see their healthcare related posts as well. But then below that, you can see popular hashtags. So within each group, we'll show the popular hashtags within that group. So if they want to see Microsoft, but they only want to see PowerPoint, they can see that hashtag, click that, and they're only filtering that content to see anything that was related to PowerPoint.
This is really beneficial for users in various departments too. If I'm in finance, I may use Excel more than I personally use Excel in marketing. So I think that gives users a lot more flexibility to be able to access things that actually relate specifically to their job and the tools that they're using.
Absolutely. Well, you want to talk a little bit about kind of what this content looks like? I know we already said infographics, videos. Is there anything that we missed here?
Yeah, this is a good kind of recap of what some of this content will look like. So this is the type of content users can expect to see in the news feed, these more visual resources. Some of these will be PNGs, some of them will be available in a PDF format, like the Microsoft newsletter, for example. But this is a good kind of roundup of the style that they might expect to see, the content they can expect to see. But as we mentioned, it will also include those videos that are similar to a Instagram reel or a TikTok style video. So I think we have a video of that queued up as well if you want to play that.
Yeah, let's get you a sneak peek.
Save time by easily converting PDFs to Word documents. First, save the PDF document to your computer. Then open Microsoft Word. Click File, Open, and Browse, and select the PDF from your files. This message will appear on the screen, letting you know the PDF might not convert perfectly, especially if it has a lot of graphics. Click OK and watch as the PDF reformats into an editable Word document.
Do you stare at spreadsheets often or work at night? Try dark mode for Excel. First, enable dark mode by clicking File, then Options here at the bottom. In the General section, go to the Office theme drop-down and select Black. Great! This gives the ribbon and surrounding interface the dark appearance.
PowerPoint will listen and provide real-time feedback on your pace, tone, and language. Once you've completed your rehearsal, you'll get a rehearsal report that includes the total time of your presentation and helpful suggestions on areas to improve.
Well, I learned something new in that video. Rehearsal mode, that's awesome.
I'm going to use that today.
Right.
Right. I mean, I think we showed some awesome sneak peeks of what this content's going to look like. I know I've already seen a couple questions in the chat of how is this actually going to work? How do I use this as a partner? So I'll touch on this a little bit. What actually is going to be the method of publishing this material here. So you will have full control over this. We are going to give you access to the Microsoft training publication tools a little bit earlier than actually publishing the content. So let me explain a little bit more what I mean there. So you will see the Microsoft training course available in your training configuration section. We'll give you a couple weeks buffer before we actually publish it to your clients. By default, this will be published to your clients, but you'll have the ability to unpublish this globally across all of your clients or for specific clients if you need to. We're also going to give you, our MSP partners, the ability to get access to this content first. So we'll publish it to you guys first so you can look at the content, review it, take the quizzes yourselves, learn how to support it, and then we'll allow you to publish it to your clients. It will be published by default, but we'll allow you to change configurations if you need to there. So really easy. Again, nothing that you need to do here. You can just let it go and your clients will have access to Microsoft training. But if you're looking to upsell this to your clients, you can unpublish it for now and you can always sell it to them and then publish it to them at a later time. One thing to note here that I missed, if you do unpublished training, that will take away any extra employee secure or any extra points that were added to their employee secure score.
Yep, that would hide all the newsfeed content as well, so they would just lose all that content there too.
Okay, so I want to talk about another really exciting update that's coming. So with all this new content that we're coming out with, we want to reduce the friction points to actually engaging with the content even more. So with that, we are extremely excited to announce our Microsoft Teams client. What this Microsoft Teams client is going to allow for is it's going to allow for us to put our platform right at the hands of your users in the place where they're spending most of their time in Microsoft Teams. This is going to reduce friction by not requiring any login attempts. They can just click on the app and they'll be able to get right into our platform, no login required. They'll be able to get notifications too when new training is available, when there's another tip that they need to engage with, that they want to engage with. They'll be able to get those notifications and then actually go into the platform right from that notification there. So we actually want to give you a quick demo. Nick, if you can, send me one of those notifications here. All right, there it is. Users will get this, they can click on it, and I'll bring over Teams app here. So this is similar how it will look. They'll get right to that quick tip from Microsoft. They'll be able to see the information, see the video or the content, the infographic in this case. They'll be able to click to dive deeper into any productivity tips. If they want to specifically look at more PowerPoint information, they can do that right from here. They can interact with it right from here, just as they would normally do by going into the website. In addition, they'll have access to the full platform from here. So they'll be able to go right to their dashboard and take any additional training if they'd like to, interact with micro trainings, their annual training from here, get their ESS score up, see the leaderboard. Full platform for end users is accessible right from inside their Teams application. And again, reducing friction because there's no login required here. So really excited to get this out. We think that this is going to be huge when it comes to user engagement. We've heard some great feedback from partners that are really excited for this to come out. So really excited to get this in the hands of our partners.
And we have been testing this application internally at Breach Secure Now as well. So we've been using it to drive engagement with our micro trainings as a team. And we've seen incredible success with users interacting more with the platform just in our own team. So I know our partners will see the same success, and I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that we'd like to mention, actually, Nicole, I'll let you touch on kind of our BPP Evolve, and we can talk about it a little bit early access too.
Sure. So the breach prevention platform, as you know it today, will be evolving into our breach prevention and productivity platform. And that really speaks to what we already talked about today, is that dual focus on cybersecurity and productivity. You really need to have both pieces of that puzzle to build a secure, efficient, productive human. So with that, we will be bundling the Microsoft training, and that includes the Teams application, into our BPP. Starting March 1st, that price will be $30 a month, or dependent on tier, of course. But if you have any questions regarding that, please feel free to reach out to your partner engagement consultant. But I know I've seen a ton of questions about when can we get this? What's the launch date of this? All I can say right now, it's coming later this quarter. So the quarter, of course, ends at the end of March, so you can expect it in that time frame. We don't have an exact launch date at this time, but we do anticipate on launching that later this quarter. So we'll keep you in the loop, of course, when we have that information. But if you do have existing BPPs, there is no action that you need to take here. When this transitions over and we bundle in this Microsoft training, it will just happen seamlessly on the back end. There's nothing that you need to do for that.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's great. Nothing that you guys need to do. If you want to just let it roll, it will roll. All right, one last thing to mention here. If you are interested in early access, definitely reach out to us. You can reach out to your partner engagement consultant, but you can also put something in the chat here today. We are giving exclusive access to our EVPP partners. We're giving them first priority, but if you are interested in early access, definitely let us know. There is limited space available, but we will definitely reach out to those that we can to get early access if that's available. Okay. I think that wraps it up. I know that we're right at our time limit here. Like Nicole said, definitely join us on our community call next Thursday. Feel free to reach out to your partner engagement consultant if you do have any immediate questions that need answered, but we are going to try to prioritize the questions that we heard today in the beginning of our community call next week.
Yep. One other thing I want to mention, we will be working, well, we currently are working on the marketing toolkit for this Microsoft productivity training and Teams launch. So if there are resources that you'd appreciate having to roll this out to your clients, to take this to market, please let us know. You can comment in the chat, you can reach out to your partner engagement consultant, but any feedback you can provide on resources that would be helpful to roll this out would be extremely valuable to us. And I know I said one more thing, but I'm going to say another. We do anticipate on having a launch party for this training launch as well. So please just keep an eye on your emails. We'll be communicating with you regarding launch date, party, things like that in email. So I think that's it. Nick, Chris, thank you both for running through that today. I know we did have a lot of questions, as Chris mentioned, but we will be happy to have your PEC reach out or address those on the community call, which is Thursday, January 18th at 11 a.m. Eastern time. If you're not signed up for that call, please reach out to your PEC to get that link, or you can find it in the partner newsfeed as well. I do want to mention as well with that, we had some partners who didn't see it on their calendar anymore for the new year. So if you are signed up for that call, please just double check your calendar to make sure that you see it listed for Thursday. If not, you can reach out and we can send you your confirmation email again.
Yep. Thanks everybody for joining. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the community call.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.